Thank you very much, Marie-Louise. All right, time for questions. First, please identify which speaker you're addressing your question to, and then I will make sure that speaker has the microphone. Any questions? All right, we have a hand on the right in the back.
This is for Justine from the Susu Yasha and oxalic acid. Hi, I'm Kaylin.
Hello.
Hi. I'm from a private studio in Toronto, Canada, and great presentation. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Is there any way to neutralize the acidity in the Susu to make it safe for use?
I tried different recipes, and some of them were with calcium bicarbonate, and it made no difference. Absolutely no. The pH was for all around about 5.2, something like that. But the used paper can make a huge difference. So if you use very good paper with alkaline reserve, it can absorb some of the effects. But the discoloration will remain. So the pH is okay, but the discoloration will occur.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
There's a hand up in the back. There's actually, I just saw two.
Hi, it's for question for Justin as well, and it's Megumi from British Museum, London.
Okay.
I just like to ask you about the origin of the name Susu.
I don't know the origins, I'm sorry. I just learned them like that, and in every literature okay, I can't find any source of a name for Susu or Yasha.
Okay, because Susu, I'm originally from Japan, so Susu means in Japanese suit, S-O-O-T. So I sort of wondered about, where it come from, Susu. And then in London, UK, the Piers Townsend, the conservator at Tate before, he did the boiling the acidic backing board, and he often called goo. And then I just look up the AIC wiki, and then they mentioned about the method of boiling backboard, but they didn't really name, so I don't think there's a particular name for that method. But I was just curious about the origin of the name
So
Susu.
there's international literature about Susu under this name, and sometimes just boiled paper in the literature, but mostly it's Susu. So, but I didn't find origins for this name.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Deborah LaCamera, and I'm from the USA. And my question is for Marcus and Laura. So actually, it's two questions. The first is that you talked about preparing the canvas with machine-made kozo. I wondered, but I could see seams, and so could you explain, was it rolled paper that you trimmed and pieced, or did you use sheets? And then the second question is, what length of time do you envision these mountings to? Are they temporary mountings for exhibition, or do you leave them for longer periods, and how do they hold up tension over time?
Well, we use mainly because of the cost, machine-made Japanese paper, and we cut it in pieces, and because of better handling for this layer. And well, especially these frames are made for a longer period, not just for a presentation. Some of them we have in a longer term in our viewing, and the tension isn't a problem. The problem is, I think we just now have the right canvas after 7 years of trying different one, and this seems to be the one we have no no bubbles which can arise after some years, because folds you can stretch out quite easily, especially with these frames with the screws in the corners. But bubbles inside, this is a real aging problem you can have.
I'll just give you this one for your question.
Yeah, I had a question for the two of you too, and that was once you have the wallpaper on the lining and the frame, are you drying it flat or face side up, or have you ever dried it standing for airflow? Yeah.
No, I would really recommend not to let it dry standing. The tensions during drying could be quite high and dangerous in any dimension, and especially as these aluminium frames we are using are the cheap one. They're more double expensive one, the thicker, but the thinner one, you really can sometimes, if you let the humidification process be too long, then all of a sudden the aluminium frame can bow and things like this. So you really want to have it flat laid on the floor, on a table, and have a look at it while drying, because if necessary we loosen some staples all around. But as we just let it humidification just for 1 hour or something like this, and we know, no, well, this is enough. It's not happened too often anymore.
Thank you.
Yeah, Slama. Sorry, is there any question?
All right, we're going to do over there first and then over on my side second. Thank you for your patience.
Jasna Mališić from Slovenia. I have a question for Clara. I was wondering, did you try to contact Gilbert and George, because as far as I know they are still alive, or did they confirm perhaps your...
Yes, we did. We tried to contact them since 2008. We've written to their White Cube Gallery. We've written to their home address. We've written to the Gilbert and George Center. We've had museums try to contact them. They're not really interested in the material so much, and I believe that that's probably why they're not answering. It's not about the material, but it's about the artwork for them. But yeah, we're still trying.
Thank you.
So, I'm Karin Steiner from the MUMOC, Vienna, and I also have a question for Clara, and was perfectly introduced now. Here I am. Thank you for the insights, how the color finds its way to the black and white photographs. We have, I think, 2 works from them in our collection, and I was doing some condition reporting, and for example, I found a yellow fingerprint on one panel at least, and I never could explain what technique corresponds with that phenomena. Now I got a more clear picture. And my question now is, we do have a big work, and on some point in the past, Gilbert and George were at the exhibition opening, and they found their work was had too much lighting, and they talked to the colleagues there, and they left the info. Please do not use more than 120 lux, because, yeah, and now this 120 lux is also written on a label on the back of each panel and on each crate, I think. And also it's written in the heads of our curators. And so whenever an exhibition is independent of duration, they want this full 120 lux, which I find is quite a lot, especially when they are long exhibitions. And so now I'm interested, at this point of your research, can you already say something to the light fastness or missing light fastness, or is this part of the project to find out more?
Yeah, I think we have to get a sense of the dye families to really be able to say something. What I've seen with the ones that we were able to unframe is that it's for all the blue, cyan, and violet dyes that are light sensitive. That being said, also the flesh or brownish colors can be light sensitive. So I don't have an overall image of exactly the light sensitive, but within the SBMK project that I mentioned, we did research for monitoring tools, how to monitor color photographs for change, and that's been done in the past with color spectrophotometers. We did testing with a very little spectrophotometer that was used, kind of in the painting industry, really. It's tiny. It's about this, a little bit thicker than my thumb, and it's just a conical. You can take it everywhere, and it has an app to go on the phone, and it works really. It has really good monitoring abilities. I mean, very reliable. So we'll be presenting on that. We're making guidelines right now on the use of that. So I think what I try to say is monitoring, and then you can convince people if you see change. I know also of other works that have on the back 50 lux, stickers on them. But yeah, I mean, light is So I think it's a discussion in that sense. Thank you.
All right, do we have anybody else? Oh, someone up here.
Hi, I'm Lenia. I'm going to ask a question to Clara, even though I'm just next to her. Clara, about the Gilbert and George, that masking gum, I haven't heard of it before. Do you know what it's made of? And what's your sense of, is it harmful? Or does it have any effects on the objects? Or does it just stay there and do nothing, essentially?
Well, we haven't found very much of it. If you look at photography books, handbooks, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you find that they, for the finishing and for hand coloring, that they mention masking. And actually, I'm old enough to have done analog photography myself, and I use masking as well, so I can recognize it in that sense as well. The effects of what's left on the image, we don't know at this point. Yeah.
Anybody else? If you could raise your hand high so that we can see them. Oh, we have one in the back.
So I have a question to the big artwork on paper team about stretching method, because I have seen that you have used the method that you first tack middle of each side, and did you try to do opposite? Because there is a method from the United States by John Bernstein, and he recommends stretching canvas from the corners.
Well, our stretching is, as it a wet stretching, it's not really a stretching, it's just mounting a humidified layer of canvas together with paper on a frame and then let it dry. So there's no real stretching. So we have this relaxed sandwich, then we fix it just to have it on the right place on the frame, then we turn it face down, and then we just fix it loosely or just with our hands, so it's not a stretching thing, and then we let it dry, and while drying we have the stretching process. So it's completely different than with a painting or a dry stretching. Is it okay? If not, we can discuss it in the break.